Hey guys, welcome back to my full Termux course where I'll guide you through using Termux from the ground up. This course spans everything from the basics like what Termux is and the fundamental commands to more advanced topics like coding, hacking, and web development right on your Android device. Let's get started. Termux is a free and open source terminal emulator for Android. It enables you to run a Linux environment on your Android device. This means that you can run hacking and cybersecurity tools commonly found on operating systems such as Kali Linux. Plus, you can do programming and development directly on your Android device. To get started, download an app called F-Droid from the link in the description. Note that the version of Termux in the Google Play Store is outdated. Once F-Droid is installed, search for Termux and install it. When you open Termux for the first time, you'll see this interface: the current working directory, the input area, and prompts. Try your first command, ls, to list the files of your current directory. Use this command to list files and folders. Now let me introduce you to a few fundamental commands. ls lists files and directories in your current directory. cd is used to change directory, and pwd prints the current working directory. We will also discuss the Android file structure and demonstrate how to use ls, cd, and pwd for navigation. Now that you are familiar with the interface, let's dive into the Android file structure. Understanding this structure is crucial for effective navigation and file manipulation. In the Android file system, everything is organized hierarchically. The root directory is represented by a /, and other directories branch out, containing various files and sub-directories. Let me show you how to navigate to your home directory in your Android device. Make sure Termux has permissions to access your storage by running this command, termux setup storage. From there, just write cd storage to navigate to your storage. Use the ls command to list the contents of your current directory. This should show you all the files and folders in that folder. To move to another directory, use the cd command followed by the directory name. Confirm your location with pwd, which displays the absolute path of your current directory. In addition to navigation, mastering basic file operations is essential. These commands will empower you to manage files and directories effectively. cp or copy files is used to duplicate files within your directories. mv or move files is used to move files to different locations and rename them. rm or remove files is used to remove files. Exercise caution when using this command, as this command permanently deletes files. Adding the R flag allows you to delete directories and their contents. Let's put these commands into action. Open Termux. Create a new directory using the make directory command. Move a file into it using the mv command. I encourage you to open Termux and experiment with the commands discussed. Navigate through the different directories, list their contents, and perform basic file operations. Remember, the more you practice, the more comfortable you become with Termux. The real learning happens when you actively engage with the terminal. Don't hesitate to explore and make mistakes with it. It's part of the learning process. Next time, we'll dive into more advanced commands and concepts. Hi, welcome back to the VectorM full Termux course. In our last video, we looked at the basics of Termux and explored some fundamental navigational commands. Today, we'll be taking it up a notch by diving into more advanced file management commands. Before we begin, please like the video, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Termux, as a Linux emulator for Android, adheres to a standard Linux file hierarchy. At the top of the hierarchy, the root directory contains critical system files and directories. You will need to root your phone to access this. Each user in Termux is designated a home directory. This is the starting point for each terminal session. The tilde is a shorthand for the current user's home directory. The absolute path to this is data/com.termux/files/home. This is located in your Android folder. External storage directories reside under the storage directory. Explore external SD cards and other storage devices in this location. Understanding this structure is very important as we dive into file management because it allows you to know where you are. Now let's move into the storage directory using the cd command. Once inside, let's create a new folder using the make directory command. Remember, cd takes you back one level in the directory structure. Creating files in Termux is easy. The touch command followed by a file name does the trick. To create multiple files, just separate the file names with spaces. Now we can use MV and CP to move or copy files to different directories. If you lose a file, you can use find followed by the file name to locate it. And finally, to destroy a file, we can use the rm command. To edit files in Termux, we use nano. Simply type nano followed by the file name. Add some text into it. Hit Ctrl+X and then Y to save the file. To take a peek into the file's contents, use the cat command. Our terminal is now cluttered, but we can use clear to erase everything, and then clutter it again by using history to show us every command that we've used so far. The echo command lets you print messages to the screen. If a command perplexes you, add the help flag to the command to get a handy guide on how to use it. To download a file from the internet, we can use the wget command followed by the URL of the file. Cal displays the calendar. We can use this to look into the past or look into the future by specifying the month and the year. Speaking of the future, we will look at how to download packages in Termux in the next video. Termux comes with an extensive list of tools by default, but we can install more packages to extend its functionality. Packages like wget to download stuff online, Hydra, Jack the Ripper, and Metasploit for hacking and password cracking. Here's how you can install packages on Termux. We'll use the apt package manager for this. Type apt update to update your repo list. Then type apt upgrade to upgrade it. To install packages, just type apt install followed by the name of the package. Install Vim like this. If you don't know, Vim is one of the best code editors on Termux. Once installed, you can use it to create and edit files. Another cool package to install is NeoFetch. It shows you your system details when you run it once it is installed. Let's learn how to install Python 3 and run Python in Termux in the next video. Python is one of the most popular programming languages in 2023. If you are interested in running Python on Termux on your Android device, this video is for you. Please subscribe, leave a like, and let me know where you're watching this video from in the comments down below. The first thing to do is launch Python and then update and upgrade your package repository. Then simply install Python 3 using this command, pkg install python. This will fetch all the dependencies and then ask you to continue. Please note the download size and press yes to continue. This may take a while, so relax and do something while this runs in the background. Once Python 3 is finished installing, you can use nano to create a Python script. Just type nano followed by the name of the file with the py extension. Write some Python code in it. I'll just write the hello world program. Then save it. To run the file using Python 3, type Python and then the file name. You can use the Python command with the flag version to check your version of Python. As of December 2023, the latest version of Python on Termux is 3.11.6. Learn how to install the Java Development Kit and how to compile and run Java on your Android device using Termux in the next video. Despite what the haters might say, Java is not dead. In fact, Java is still one of the most used programming languages in both consumer and enterprise software. Here's how to install the Java Development Kit on Termux so you can edit, compile, and run Java on your Android device. Please subscribe, leave a like, and let me know where you're watching this video from in the comments down below. To install Java, first update and upgrade your package list. Then install nano. And then just type pkg install Java to start the download. This will take a while, so check out my Termux playlist while this runs in the background. Once it is done, run Java version to see the version of Java you just installed. To compile Java in Termux, please create a file with the Java extension using nano. Write some code into it. I'll use the hello world program. To compile the file, just run javac followed by the file name. This will compile the source code into bytecode and produce a class file. To execute it, just type Java followed by the name of the class. And with that, you've successfully installed and compiled Java on Termux. Hey guys, here's how you can install Clang on Termux so that you can compile and run both C and C++ using Termux on your Android device. First, you need to run apt update and upgrade to update and upgrade your Termux repositories, and then simply run the command pkg install Clang or apt install Clang. This should give you a prompt to install clang. Just click on yes to confirm the installation. I've already installed it. Once it's done installing, we can start compiling and running C or C++ programs on Termux. Let's create a C file using nano. Run the command nano followed by the file name with the extension cpp. Write the code for the hello world program and save the file. To compile the code, run the command clang++ followed by the file we created, and then the flag O and the name of the output file. To run the file, just type the following, followed by the output file. Compiling C is similar too, so let's create a C file to test this with. Just type nano and the name of the file followed by the C extension. Write the code for the LOL program, but not in C++, but in C this time. And then to compile it, we don't use clang++, but we use clang. Here's how to compile and run PHP on Android using Termux. Please like the video, subscribe, and turn on the bell for more videos. Step 1, as always, is upgrade and update your package repositories. Then install Nano. We'll use this to write the code. When you're done, install PHP by running the command pkg install php. Once it is done installing, create a file with the extension PHP using Nano. Write some PHP code into it. I'll just use the echo command to print some text into the screen. Save the file. Then use the command php followed by the name of the file to execute the code. Let's look at how to install Node.js in the next video.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we will guide you through the process of installing and configuring Node.js on Termux using your Android device. Node.js is an open source and cross-platform JavaScript runtime environment. It allows you to run JavaScript code on a server-side, making it a powerful tool for building web applications and server-side scripts. To install Node.js on Termux, follow the steps. Open the Termux app on your Android device. Update the package list by running the following command: pkg update. Next, install the Node.js package by entering this command: pkg install Node.js. After the installation is complete, verify that Node.js is installed correctly by typing node-v. This will display the version of Node.js installed on your device. You can run JavaScript code on Termux using Node.js in two ways. The first method is to directly type JavaScript code into the terminal. For example, console log hello world. Alternatively, you can create a file with a .js extension using a text editor like Nano. Write your JavaScript code in it and save it. Then you can run the file using the node command followed by the file name. One of the things you can do with Node.js is to save web pages, similar to the live server extension on Visual Studio Code. Here is how you can configure it. Navigate to the desired directory and create an index.html file with some HTML code in it. Create a server.js file and write some basic HTTP server code in it. This code is available in the description. Once you are done, save the file. To start the server, run the following command, node followed by the file name. This will start a web development server on localhost. To access the web page, simply open your browser and type localhost 3000. The changes made to HTML file will be automatically updated. Please like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
Termux is a Linux environment emulator for Android that allows you to write and run code and scripts. But before you write your first script, you will need a code editor. So, in this video, I bring you the top 7 code editors for Termux. We'll start from the good ones and move towards the best Termux code editors, so stick around. Before we begin, please like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell. Joe is one of the default text editors on Linux. As the name suggests, it was created by Joe Allen and it is available for you to use on Termux. It offers syntax highlighting for most programming languages and auto-indenting. A good alternative to Joe is Nano. They are both lightweight, come pre-installed on some Linux distributions, and offer similar features. Next, we have Micro. This editor is also lightweight but comes with more features. I especially like the nostalgic feel of it because of the Monokia theme. With Micro, you get syntax highlighting, auto-indenting, basic auto-completion, and key bindings. Joe, Nano, and Micro are good editors, but let's escalate things by moving towards an app that resembles a traditional code editor. Emacs is an open source Linux code editor that is available on Termux. It offers more advanced features and customization options. You still get the basic features, including syntax highlighting and code completion, but in addition, Emacs provide extra features for C++ and more customization options. These 4 are awesome, but I've got 3 more Termux code editors for you. Vim is a popular Linux code editor that's infamous for being hard to exit. I know you've googled how to quit Vim the first time you used it. NeoVim is an extension of Vim and probably my favorite code editor on Termux. It comes with syntax highlighting, very good code completion, auto-indenting, a built-in terminal, customization options like changing themes, and more. If you decide to download NeoVim, please pair it with the Fira code font. And finally, Guinea and LeafPad are code editors that come pre-installed on Termux desktop. They have all the features you need to write text documents in the graphical user interface version of Termux. I have a video on how to easily install Termux desktop in this playlist, so check it out. Hey guys, welcome back to the course. In this video, we'll be looking at shell scripting within Termux. Writing scripts is a very important skill that will allow you to automate tasks and become more efficient with the terminal. A shell script is basically a file containing a series of commands that are executed in sequence. It helps you automate repetitive tasks by running multiple commands at once. Here's how you get started writing a basic shell script on Termux. Open Termux and navigate to the home directory. Now create a new script file using the touch command. Open the file with Nano or any text editor of your choice. Inside the file, write the following code. Start with the shebang. Then ask your user for their name. And then read the user input into a variable called name. And finally, greet them using their name. Once you're done, save and close by holding Ctrl and pressing X, then Y, then Enter. Before running the script, you have to give it permission to execute with the command chmod +X myscript. Now to run the script, you use the command /myscript. You should see the text printed on the screen with a prompt to enter your name. You can go as simple as the script I just showed you, or more complicated one like the guessing game I made here. I have a text document which outlines the syntax of bash with code examples provided in the video description. Please download that and play around with the examples. But here's a basic breakdown of the bash syntax. Bash follows a simple and consistent syntax. Here's a quick overview of some key elements. Variables in bash are used to store values. You don't need to declare a type, just assign values like this. You can control the flow of your script using conditional statements like if. For example, like this. The if statement here checks the condition, and depending on the result, which is true or false, it runs one block of code or another. For recursion, you can use loops that allow you to repeat commands. Here's a simple for loop for an example. This will print numbers from 1 to 5, incrementing the value with each iteration. You can also write reusable blocks of code using functions. For example, here's a simple greet function. Here, 1 refers to the first argument passed to the function. And finally, you can add comments to your script to explain certain sections of your code. Comments begin with a hashtag and they are ignored when the script runs. Understanding these basics will allow you to write more complex and useful scripts. In this video, we'll look into how you can install and run MySQL on Android using Termux. We'll be using the latest method to ensure that you don't run into any problems when running MySQL on your mobile device. We'll also look into some MySQL commands to get you started. Thanks to Bowling220 for the video suggestion, and thanks to everyone who voted on the poll. I appreciate it. To use MySQL on Termux, you need to make sure that you have the latest version of Termux. Don't download the one from the Google Play Store, but use F-Droid or GitHub instead. I have a video on how to install the latest version of Termux, links in the description. Once you have installed the latest version of Termux, run the command pkg update, then pkg upgrade to update and upgrade your packages. This will take some time depending on your connection, but once it's done, you simply need to install MariaDB using the command pkg install MariaDB. Then, to use MariaDB, we first need to initialize the MariaDB directory using the following command: mysql_install MariaDB. After that, we need to run MariaDB safe -u root & to start the SQL server. From here, we will need to set up our password. To do that, we simply run the command mysql_secure_installation. This will ask for our current password, but we haven't set one yet, so we just hit enter. I like to disable Unix socket authentication, then set the root password to something that is not too complicated. I keep anonymous users to make things easier, allow remote login, keep the test databases, and reload all database privileges. To access our MySQL or MariaDB client, we simply run the command mysql-u root-p. This is currently the easiest way to do this, but it might change in the future. The MariaDB client is where we'll be writing and executing our SQL commands. You can type help to get the manual on how to use this, from which you can see that \q is used to quit. This will be useful in case you get stuck. The first thing I need you to do here is type show databases to see the databases that are available on your server. To select a database, we simply type use followed by the database name. Then type show tables to see the tables within it. Here, you can type any SQL command to manage or query any table. To exit, we simply hold Ctrl and press D. You will need to log in again, and that can be done in two ways. You can log in as root using this command, or log in as an anonymous user by simply typing MySQL. Just keep in mind that anonymous users might not have certain privileges. We are done installing MariaDB, but we're not done with the video yet. Let's complete this exercise together. The exercise on screen states that we first need to create a table using SQL in Termux. After we are done creating that table, we need to answer the following questions. First, show us all the employees of the company from the table. Question 2, the oldest employee. Question 3, the youngest employee. Question 4, the average age of our employees. Question 5, Victor is fired, remove him from the database. And question 6, Bruno has changed his name to Walter Smith, update his name in the database. Okay, to create our database, we simply type create database followed by the database name. Then, to create a table within it, we need to type the following. Create table, followed by the name of the table, and in brackets, the columns, with their respective data types and sizes. Once that's done, I like to use the this command to see the structure of the table before inserting anything. To insert the first employee, we simply type insert into followed by the name of the table and columns in brackets, then values, and the values we want to insert in brackets. Be sure to respect the data types of all our values here. We do the same thing for all the other entries into our table. So you just copy and paste and replace the values. Now we need to answer the questions based on the table. For the first question, we simply need to select all the employees in the table. We do this by typing select star from table name. To get the age of the oldest employee, we simply type select max age from employees. This will give us the age of the oldest employee, but nothing else. So to get everything else, we need to type select star from table name where followed by our condition, which in this case our condition is age is equals to select from employees max age. This will just put that 63 into our condition here. So the result will be our oldest employee. And then we simply need to replace the keyword for the third question. To the other questions, we simply need to use delete from followed by the table name, then where followed by our condition, which in this case is name is equals to Victor. And finally, the last question in the exercise, we need to update Bruno's name. To do that, we simply type update followed by the table name, then set column name is equals to value, then our condition, which in this case is name is equals to Bruno Nash. Here is what our table looks like after all the operation. Here's the easiest way to install a graphical user interface on Termux. Installing a graphical user interface on Termux can be a headache. If you are not dealing with errors and broken pipelines, then you are most likely getting stuck on something along the lines of you don't have root access, you are not a root user, blah blah blah. But I've got you. In this video, I'm going to show you the best and easiest way to install a GUI on Termux. And the best part is, you don't need to root your device and void your warranty to do it. Ready? Let's go. We will do this in just 3 steps. If you experience an error, leave a comment down below and I'll tackle it personally. Or if I take too long, join our Discord server where one of our moderators might get to it first. Before we begin, make sure you have the following: a strong internet connection and at least 3 GB of free storage. If you have both these, then install the latest version of Termux from GitHub. Don't download the one from the Google Play Store because it is outdated. The first thing to do, as always, is to upgrade and update your package repository. Once you are done, install Git. After installing Git, you will need to clone this repository. A link to this repository will be available in the description. So before you copy and paste the link, please go and give it a star on GitHub. Running this command will clone this repo to your local storage. So after that, navigate to the cloned directory with the command cd termux-desktop. After that, modify the permissions on the setup file by using chmod plus setup.sh. And then install your Termux desktop. This will take a while, so have a coffee, like the video, and subscribe while you wait. Once this is done, it will ask you to set a password for the VNC server. Just set one that's easy and continue. From here, we will need to install VNC Viewer, so go to the Google Play Store and install that. After you're done, close Termux and open it again. You will notice that your old theme has been changed. To start the desktop, run the command start desktop. Then copy the domain here. Next, go to VNC Viewer. Click on the add icon and paste the domain. Then give your PC a name and save. Then connect. This will ask you for your password, so enter and confirm it. To change your resolution, you can go to the settings on your desktop and choose from the options here. I usually go from 720p or 1080p. Just make sure you pick one that allows you to see the entire screen. Next, go to VNC settings and adjust the picture quality. I have 3GB of RAM and this is running fine on the highest quality on my Android device. Before you leave, here is a bonus tip. Go back to Termux and run the command pkg install Firefox. This will allow you to use the full desktop version of Firefox on VNC Viewer. You can use this to download all those anime wallpapers and hacking series I know you love. Again, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to join the Vector Legion. Here's certain things you should do immediately after installing the Termux application on your phone. These are a handful of steps you should take to maximize Termux's capabilities and some quality of life improvements and tips. Let's get started. Before we begin, please like the video, subscribe and hit the bell. The first thing you need to do after installing Termux is run pkg update and pkg upgrade. This will update all your packages and package sources, allowing you to download the latest packages. Next, set up Termux storage with the command termux setup storage. This grants Termux storage permissions to create folders for your Termux files and directories on your Android device. Next, we need to install some basic packages that are useful. The first package is Git. This allows us to clone repositories from GitHub to our local storage. To install Git, simply type pkg install git. The next package we will install is Python. This is one of the most popular programming languages out there, and we're going to be using it to write scripts to automate some tasks. Next, we install Node.js in Termux with the command pkg install Node.js. This will give us a JavaScript runtime environment in Termux, allowing us to write and run JavaScript on our phone. And finally, we install wget with the command pkg install wget. Wget is a package that allows you to download files from the internet using Termux. To use it, we simply type wget followed by the URL of a file. For an example, we can download an image from this URL by typing this. Once it is done downloading, we can open it using the command termux open followed by the file name and extension. The next thing you can do after installing Termux is to learn some basic Linux commands. These include basic navigation commands like cd to change directories, ls to list the contents of directories, cp to copy files, mv to move files, and make directory to create new folders. Once you are done, let's install some text and code editors. In order to edit files in Termux, you need a text editor or code editor. So type pkg install nano to install your first text editor. Nano is a small and basic text editor, but it allows you to edit text on Termux simply, and it works very well for the most part. But for more advanced code editing, you'll need to install another code editor or text editor. You can install Vim, but I prefer Emacs, so type pkg install Emacs to install it. Emacs offers a lot more features and is easier to use than most code editors. You get a graphical user interface to help with most stuff. Next, let's go back to F-Droid and search for Termux. Then install the Termux styling app from there. Once installed, go back to Termux and hold your finger down anywhere on the screen. This will give you a pop-up where you can change the color scheme of Termux as well as the Termux font. There are a lot of options to choose from, but I'll just pick one at random for now. For the font, I like the default Ubuntu font if the FireCode font is not available. Next, let's install the Termux API from F-Droid. Then go back to Termux and type pkg install termux-api. Once the Termux API is installed, we are going to be using it. It basically allows you to do things you typically do on your phone using Termux. Things like checking your battery percentage, changing brightness, sending SMSs, checking your contact list and call logs, and a bunch of other options. There's a helpful article on the Termux wiki to help you use this. Link is in the description. Speaking of links, if you want to support the channel or join our Discord, links for those are in the description as well. On Windows, sometimes you need to use Task Manager to force close some processes, and the same applies to Termux. To manage processes in Termux, we are going to need to install a process manager with pkg install htop. Then type htop to see all the active processes. This will show you the process ID, the amount of RAM and CPU the process is using, as well as who is using the process. You also get a bunch of options you can use to manage each process here at the top. Next, let's install cmatrix with the command pkg install cmatrix. Then type cmatrix to display this cool matrix effect on your Termux terminal. To close it, you simply hold Ctrl and click C. To browse the internet using Termux, you can install the package W3M. With this package installed, you can simply type W3M followed by the URL to fetch a website and display it as text. To improve Termux functionality further, let's install MySQL. Then install PHP and Java with these commands here. Next, type pkg install mc to install Midnight Commander. File management in Termux is usually done using commands, but with MC, you can manage files using a graphical user interface. With this, you can edit, create, and manage files and folders on Termux. And finally, to take your Termux usage to the next level, you can install a graphical user interface. I have a video on how you can easily do that within 5 minutes. If you found this video helpful, please like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell for more updates. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.